Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, all in between, you are looking at the owner of a Class A commercial driver's license. Let's just talk about it. Welcome back to Spencer Joyce's World. This is my rundown of trucking school week 3. And as you can tell by the title, I got my CDL, but let's back up a little bit and take care of some house cleaning and talk about the entire week. My new single cover of Luke Combs's When It Rains It Pours, it is now on all music streaming platforms, Spotify, Apple, Amazon, YouTube, Deezer, Tidal, you name it, it's on there. Links are down in the description. Go check that out. Also, I have put out a poll on both my YouTube community tab and on my Instagram story of what video do you want to see first in the coming weeks. I am home for the next week or so. I have a little bit of time to kill, so I figured I'd get some more video ideas out. That way y'all have something to chew on while I'm training. I don't know if I'm going to have a lot of time to record content. I at least want to get through training before I talk about trucking again. That's all the housekeeping. Let's talk about the week from hell. This week was the highest of highs and the lowest of lows. There were times where I wanted to quit. I'm just going to be honest. This week was all outside, again, like week 2 was. What we worked on was 1, driving, 2, backing, 3, pre-trip inspection. I mean, we started pre-trip inspection in week 2, but this was like real crunch time of learning all the parts. I mean, look, I've talked about it before. I've done the pre-trip inspection when I went for my school bus license. That was actually the easy part. The second hardest was the driving. Your boy can now do double clutching on a manual transmission because that's what we were taught in 10-speed manual truck. That part was the hardest for me to get. Clutch neutral, clutch gear. Clutch neutral, clutch gear. I did learn there's things you can do to save it when you are rolling and it won't go into gear. Say you're going from 4th to 5th. It's not going in. Accelerate a little bit and it'll easily go in. In fact, one of the trainers taught us that you actually don't need to clutch at all in order for the gears to shift. So if you just let off, it'll go in on its own. But for the test, that would be an automatic fail. Honestly, like being behind the wheel of a truck was exhilarating. Like, that was really cool. I had a great trainer for that. His name is Jeff. He's real kind of old school rock and roll kind of guy. Not only did he instruct him, but he gave me and my group a bunch of just real talk about the industry itself and how to keep healthy, how to keep from going insane, and be sure your paychecks are nice and fat. Shout out to Jeff for that. Also, shout out to Bill. I had him for week 1 of training, which he's not usually in the classroom. He's usually out teaching backing. I just want to thank him for being very patient with me. Backing was the hardest part. He taught me a technique, and through the first 4 days, I just wasn't getting it. Somehow, it just wasn't clicking. I would get to a point where I would chase the trailer into the dock, but somehow I would just mess up during that time. I don't know why. It just wasn't clicking for me. That was really the main issue that I had, where I think it was like Tuesday and Wednesday that the thought entered my head of maybe I'm not cut out for this. Maybe I should do something else. But all I will say is failure was not an option for me. So I had to keep going. And I did. And luckily, when it came to test day, it did click. My tester was the usual week 1 guy, David. He's like the nicest of all of the trainers. I got the pre-trip down. The part of the pre-trip that I had was the trailer. The amount of times that I said,
everything is properly mounted and secured, it's not cracked, damaged, or loose, no abrasions, bumps, or cuts, and nothing is leaking.
It will be okay if I never have to hear that phrase again. I aced that, and then next part was I had to do some backing maneuvers. Did a straight line back, aced that, an offset back, aced that, and then the 90-degree angle back. For anybody watching this, study it. It was a miracle that I got it. That's all I'm going to say about it. But then, once I did get it, it was time for the road test. Manual shifting was the hardest part for me. Getting the gears in is remembering, don't go too far. You'll shift from 6th to 9th. You don't want that. Remember the double clutching. Remember the little lever to go up and down. But other than that, a lot of the school bus stuff that I had become accustomed to came back. It helped me out immensely. Don't hit any curbs. Don't run any stoplights. Don't take grandma with you on the trip, if you know what I'm saying. And got back into the yard, and I passed. I tell you, I was fitting to cry. Like, seriously, it was like really emotional that I passed and I was able to get, basically just get my life back in order. I mean, obviously, those who've been following this social media journey I've been on for quite some time know that the highs and the lows that I've been through, and this is definitely a high. I just also want to say to any of my fellow students that were watching, I'm going to miss all of y'all. Each and every one of you. Even the most craziest ones that have a Coca-Cola addiction, I'll still miss them as well. And luckily I got most of y'all on my Facebook. Hopefully we'll see each other at a truck stop or like some shipping receiver or something like that. I remember right before we went into the cars to leave, it was me and two other people. We were talking like how about our futures and like how we're gonna miss all of this, and there was a moment that we all just kind of sat there. None of us wanted to leave. Like, we didn't want to, but we knew we had to. And that was really special to me. To the two that were there when we didn't want to leave, you know who you are, and I'll cherish that for a very long time. But anyway, I'm getting emotional here. After I was done with everything, I went to see Miss Janet, handles all the paperwork for everything, and I got a call from the company I'm going with, Covenant, that they need physical driver's licenses in order to get someone on a truck, and the driving school is fighting it. I'm still waiting on a call from my recruiter on Monday to see if everything's still a go for Covenant. If not, then Janet basically told me that they will take me and put me on another company. Hopefully it doesn't come to that, because my mom was working for Covenant for a couple of years. That's what she started out with and has had nothing but great things to say about them. That's the beauty of Tennessee and Tampa Truck Driving School, is lifetime job placement. They will help you out. So I feel confident that on Monday, June 16th, I will be at an orientation of some company. After that week, I'll be on the road doing my 4 to 6 weeks of training, and then after that, I'll be making them big bucks and making my dreams come true. Thank you all so much for watching. Thank you for all of the support throughout this entire ordeal. It's really meant a lot that the community that I've built over here, we have built over here really, has been so supportive of this new life that I'm going to be living. When I'm able to take y'all on the road with me, I will. Thank you for watching. Subscribe. Watch another video. Thank you all channel members. Love y'all. Thanks for changing my life. Talk to y'all soon.